Welcome everyone to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. So today we've got a easing up day. We had a very transformational past couple days. A lot of past energy being released in terms of things that we felt like was maybe unhealthy in our life, or some perspectives or even patterns, emotional patterns from the past have been released. A lot of this probably done subconsciously, in fact, with the sun over the south node. But today, not only are we easing up from that, we're also easing up from the Mars square up to Pluto. So that's been perhaps feeling a bit of clash or a bit of intensity in our life. Again, that survival instinct being very strong. So that's easing up today as well. And that's how I would generally look at the day relative to the past couple days, is a bit more ease, relatively speaking, but a bit more ease and flow in the everyday routine, and maybe not feeling as much clash or as much deeper stuff being brought to the surface. Now, with that being said, of course, the moon is in Sagittarius, which has really been helping this very transformational part of the week, where we can be feeling quite spirited and feeling like we can see the big picture aspects of our life, which has been very good. So the moon will be here still the first half of the day, and then slowly shift into Capricorn. And I think Capricorn is going to play a big theme because we're going to have Mercury sextile up to Saturn as well. So Capricorn, first of all, is about reserve. So we could, as the day unfolds, feel a bit more reserved, a bit more disciplined, which can make it good for productive things or anything that does require responsibility. But Mercury sextile Saturn is this sort of opening again with all these easy aspects with Mercury, but now with Saturn, to where we can be thinking a bit more reserved and structured and responsible in many ways too. And even with the routine, a sort of opening to have some structure in the routine as well. All right, so that's the day in a nutshell. Definitely easing up in terms of the more challenging aspects, but still a very transformational week. You know, we are approaching a solar eclipse on Sunday, a south node solar eclipse. So there are new beginnings around the horizon having to do with transformation and change, which we'll certainly look at. But today it's a sort of pause from what has been a very deep week or impactful week astrologically. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this in more detail when we return. All right, so there it is. The moon in Sagittarius, first half of the day, probably feeling a bit spirited, open-minded. Now, usually Sagittarius is a fire sign, and that's about, spirit for life and passion and adventure and all of this. But mind you, as we approach that Sunday solar eclipse, we are entering into the balsamic phase. And the balsamic phase is the ending of the last lunar cycle. Okay, so it's a time of endings as we approach it, where we'll probably start to feel a bit of inwardly, first of all, lowering energy, right? Things are dying down internally, but also externally as well. We may see that in our environment, that it's a good time to maybe get some R&R, maybe some meditation, meditate essentially on the past 30 days, the past lunar cycle. And that's exactly what we want to do, to be in flow with this, because it's the ending phase of the last cycle, and it will be starting a brand new cycle come Sunday into next week. So it's good to, again, sort of recharge or get that meditative time in order to cultivate more of a new beginning that'll be more energetic as time goes on next week. So that's the moon. It's the emotional body. It's the receptive side of things. But shifting into Capricorn, we could be feeling quite reserved, quite grounded, in fact, emotionally as the day unfolds. So speaking of all that, Capricorn, we do have, again, that easing up energy of the more challenging aspects from earlier in the week, which is good, collectively, feeling a bit of that. But Mercury is going to be sextiling up to Saturn. So Mercury's been very well aspected this week, and this is certainly no exception to that. So Saturn, just like Capricorn, is about structure, is about responsibility. And so we could certainly be thinking this way. Now, it's just an opening with this particular aspect, but it's certainly there. All right, so an opening here for anything that does require a bit of responsibility, a bit of structure, using the mind perhaps. Maybe it's at work, maybe it's with communication. All right, feeling a bit of that grounded, responsible, committed sort of way of thinking about things and communicating things. And Mercury, of course, too, is the routine. So there is a sort of opening here where there could be some structure with the routine as well. All right, so not a major aspect. I would say definitely what's the main energy of the day is that we are easing up off of what was a much deeper, again, that survival instinct, maybe even that bit of clash inwardly or outwardly that we were experiencing collectively these past couple days. All right, but again, it is a very transformational week. We got a solar eclipse coming up on Sunday, and I think in this balsamic phase, starting to reflect on matters. Not only the past 30 days, in fact, really the past 6 months, because you've got the lunar cycle, but then you've also got the solar cycle. And the solar cycles are every year, right? So we're at the halfway point with whatever it was we were cultivating back during the last eclipses last fall. So right now, starting to, integrate and think about or just meditate on or feel. Usually it's very intuitive, especially with the South Node, but sort of feel, these energies from the past 6 months sort of dissipating in a way and integrating them and understanding more about them in an intuitive sense. All right, and then through that intuition, we could start to be gaining some insights as we approach the weekend about what these new beginnings are. But again, it's a bit early, and I think just allowing the energies to die down in our personal life is a great way of working with this. All right, so I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.